how many bids did you submit last year? Like, really, take a second and think about that exact number.
Yeah.
And how many did you actually win?
Right, because if your answer is anything worse than 1 in 5, you really need to listen to this. You are essentially wasting money on bids you should never have submitted.
Yeah, I'm Justine, by the way.
And I'm Nicole. Welcome to our latest deep dive on scaling legends. The brutal industry averages right now are, well, they're honestly pretty staggering.
Yeah, they are.
Private construction hit ratios are sitting at about 4 to 5 to 1. And public work, that is a massive 7 to 10 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah, meaning you only win 1 out of every 10 public bids you pour all those resources into.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if your overall win rate is worse than 1 in 5, you're just burning money on administrative costs.
Exactly.
It's kind of like indiscriminately swiping right on a dating app, you know? Like, if you just say yes to absolutely everything, you end up on a lot of terrible, expensive dates that go absolutely nowhere.
That is a perfect analogy. And that's exactly the mission of this deep dive. We're going to help you build a bulletproof bidding machine.
Right.
We'll explore exactly where to find the right projects, how to rigorously filter them, and how to avoid the 10 most expensive mistakes in the process.
So before you can even start filtering out the bad bids, you kind of need to know where the entire universe of projects actually lives, right?
Definitely.
We have to move from the problem of low win rates to the very top of the project funnel. Where are the big jobs hiding?
Well, you have to start with the big databases. For private work, the massive heavy hitter is ConstructConnect.
Okay.
They're tracking something like 1.1 million projects right now. It usually runs about $129 to $199 a month. So it's the largest private database out there.
Got it. And what else is in that space?
There's also the Dodge Construction Network. They have over 750,000 projects. That one is roughly $149 a month.
Is there a big difference between the two?
Dodge is specifically strong for early stage project intelligence. Like, if you want to know about a job before the plans are even finalized.
Oh, that's a huge advantage. What about public work, though?
For public work, SAM.gov is the ultimate portal. It's completely free, and it is actually mandatory for every single federal contract opportunity.
Right. If it's federal, it has to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I should also mention PlanHub. They're growing really fast. They offer a free tier, and their premium is around $99 a month.
But, you know, we can't ignore the local and hidden gems either.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because state and local procurement portals like your local DOTs or school districts are huge. Plus, local plan rooms maintained by AGC and HBA chapters are often the very first places local jobs actually appear.
They are, but here is the real expert insight on all of this. The absolute best, highest margin projects, they never even hit these public databases.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they're won entirely through established relationships with developers, architects, and facility managers.
Okay, I have to push back on that a little bit. If the best jobs are all relationship-based, aren't these massive databases just a race to the bottom for everyone else?
I mean, I totally get why it looks that way, but databases are essential for volume. Like, if you were trying to break into a new sector or a new region, you don't have those relationships yet. So databases give you the at-bats, but relationships are definitely the end game.
So you use the databases to get your foot in the door, do a great job, and then build the relationship from there.
Precisely. Now, once you have that mountain of potential projects from those databases, how do you avoid the trap of just bidding on all of them?
Right, you need a ruthless filter.
Exactly. You need the go framework. There are 5 critical questions you have to answer before you even touch an estimate.
Number 1 is probably, can we actually do this work?
Right.
Like, is there a capability match?
Yep. Don't bet a hospital if you only build retail spaces. Question 2, can we staff it? And that means looking at your workforce availability during that specific project timeline.
Because having guys available in May doesn't help if the job starts in September.
Exactly. Question 3, can we bond it? Does this fit your current bonding capacity? Question 4, do we know the client?
Like, is there a relationship advantage or is it just a totally cold bid?
Right. And question 5, the big one.
Yeah.
Can we make money? You have to do a margin analysis based on current material costs.
Here's where it gets really interesting. You can break this down into a flag system, right? Like green flags and red flags.
Yeah, a green flag would be things like repeat clients, negotiated work, a job that's a perfect specialty fit, or something that keeps you under 50% of your bonding capacity.
Which means a red flag is the exact opposite, like those lowest price wins bids where you have zero relationship with the owner.
Oh, massive red flag. Or if a job maxes out 100% of your bonding capacity.
Yeah.
Or if it's an untested building type or an unrealistic schedule.
Yeah, you just have to walk away. And this is actually where Smart Business Automator is super helpful. Their project pipeline actively connects to those major bid databases we just talked about. And its bid analysis feature automatically scores each opportunity against your specific capabilities.
Which is brilliant because it takes all the emotion out of the go-no-go decision.
Exactly. So let's say you've sourced the project, it passed the go-no-go filter, now the actual estimation begins.
And this is where the real minefield starts. This is where we see the first half of the 10 most expensive bidding mistakes.
Mistake number 1, bidding everything.
Yeah. If you bid everything, you are basically guaranteed to win the toxic projects that every other smart contractor already passed on.
Which is terrifying. Mistake number 2, no site visits. If you haven't walked the dirt, your estimate is literally pure fiction.
It's just a guess. You don't know if the soil's bad or if the staging area is too small for trucks. You have to go look at it.
And then there's mistake number 3, stale pricing.
Oh, this is a huge data point. Right now, the market is moving at a 12.6% annualized rate.
Wow. 12.6%.
Yeah. So using material prices from even 3 months ago is absolute financial suicide.
Your margins are just gone before you even start. Okay, mistake number 4, ignoring subcontractor coverage.
Right. Having only one subquote per trade gives you absolutely zero competitive insight. You have no idea if they are gouging you.
Which leads right into mistake number 5, underestimating general conditions.
Yes.
I always compare general conditions to the hidden fees on a concert ticket.
Oh, that's totally accurate.
Right. You think the ticket is $50, but then there's a venue fee, a convenience fee, and suddenly it's $90. In construction, it's the job site trailer, the dumpsters, temp power, safety, supervision.
And people forget that those things make up a massive 8 to 12% of the total project cost.
If you miss that, you're paying for the dumpsters out of your own profit.
What's fascinating here is that even if your estimate is flawless, the mechanical execution of the bid and your understanding of the broader market can still sink you entirely.
Which is part B of the minefield. Mistake number 6, no escalation clause.
Right. A fixed price contract without an escalation clause right now is basically volunteering to lose money when costs spike.
And mistake number 7, math errors.
Yep.
Wait, really, with all the complex supply chain issues out there, simple math extensions and summary errors are really the #1 cause of unprofitable bids.
It sounds crazy, but yes, it is the brutal reality. People are putting these bids together at 2 a.m. right before bid day. They're exhausted. One missed Excel formula or misplaced decimal point can ruin a multi-million-dollar bid.
That is wild. You really have to triple check your summaries.
Always.
Okay, mistake number 8, submitting late.
Oh yeah. 1 minute late means it gets thrown straight in the trash. No exceptions.
Mistake number 9, no follow-up.
This one kills me. You do all that work, hit submit, and never call the client. You'll always lose to the contractor who actually picks up the phone.
Yeah, it's a relationship business. And finally, mistake number 10, not tracking your data.
If you don't know your hit ratio by project type, you cannot improve. You have to know where you are winning and losing.
Let's talk about the margin benchmarks for a second. The industry gold standard is always quoted as 10 and 10, right? Like 10% overhead, 10% profit.
Right. But actual margins usually land somewhere between 5 and 15%, depending entirely on the complexity of the job.
And the market context around this is getting really intense. The sources noted that as of March 2026, there are 628 firms in the SBA program facing termination.
Yeah, that is a huge shift. That means 628 disadvantaged businesses are suddenly being dumped into the open market to compete for standard commercial work.
It changes the small business set-aside landscape dramatically.
It really does. And on top of that, Google Trends shows that searches for construction bidding are up 67%.
Wow.
So your competitors are desperately looking for an edge right now.
Which is exactly why avoiding mistake number 10, not tracking your data, is so vital. And it's exactly why Smart Business Automator integrates directly with bid platforms.
Right.
So you can automatically track your win rate and opportunity pipeline without all that manual data entry.
Because keeping track of 12.6% market fluctuations, diverse subquotes, and complex general conditions is just way too much data to handle manually. You will drown in administrative overhead.
Technology definitely has to step in here.
It does.
So let's review the current tech stack. You've got traditional bid management software, things like ConstructConnect Bid Manager, Stack, and Building Connected, which is by Autodesk.
Yeah, those are all very solid platforms, but we need to do an AI reality check here.
Oh, for sure.
Because as of March 2026, true AI for perfect bid scoring is still in its early days. No major platform has shipped a production AI that just perfectly matches bids without human oversight.
It's just too complex right now.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, though, AI is successfully being used right now to scale operations through Smart Business Automator.
Yes, which you can find at smartbusinessautomator.com. It really eliminates that admin bloat.
Exactly. It automatically tags and sorts your photos, plans, and submittals. It actually extracts vital details from the specs via document intelligence.
Oh, that saves so much time.
It even summarizes daily field reports and generates draft RFI responses using historical data.
And it has those API connections to existing accounting and ERP systems, making it basically the ultimate AI project assistant for construction.
So what does this all mean?
Yeah, where does this leave the listener?
Well, here's a lingering question for you to mull over. If AI isn't perfectly matching bids just yet, but it is automating all that background paperwork, then the true competitive advantage for the next 5 years isn't how fast you build.
No,
it's how efficiently you curate your no pile.
Oh, wow.
Are you using technology to empower your human estimators to make great choices, or just using it to make bad decisions faster?
That is a phenomenal point. So here is your specific call to action. I want you to pull your last 20 bids right now and calculate your exact hit ratio.
Yes.
If it is worse than 1 in 5, your go-no-go framework is fundamentally broken and must be fixed this week.
It's just math. You can't ignore it.
And if you know a contractor who is currently bleeding money on administrative costs, or they're really struggling with their margins, send them this deep dive right now.
Absolutely.
And hit follow, like, share, comment, and subscribe on whatever app you're listening on so you don't miss tomorrow's intel. And remember to visit smartbusinessautomator-.com, fix your framework, and stop wasting your margins.